Bam! So today's video, you will have the no bullshit guide of recording and editing content for social media. If you don't know me, my name is Angel Martin Cordova, aka Astro, aka the founder of Astros and Marketing. We help coaches grow sustainably, and at the end of this video, you will know how to record your content by yourself, how to edit your content using all the tools that we use with the best coaches in the world, and how to do it for social media consistently so you don't have to spend hours and hours editing videos and you just take a couple of minutes. So we're going to start first with the recording part because the recording part is really important. And what I want you to understand is that it's also like a muscle. So you have to actually practice, and the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. So don't pretend to get the first video perfect. And the biggest lessons that I've learned from coaching people into recording content and also for getting them into the flow and becoming better at creating content, it's a matter of not being caught in the perfectionist trap. Because that's the biggest mistake many coaches do. They think they should have the best video, the first video, or have it polished and have it perfect and have the right angle and have like all of it is perfect. But even like this setup right now that you are seeing, it's after years and years of developing the craft, and I'm able to do it in one take because I understand lighting, I understand how to present, I understand a lot of things, but I've done this for like 5 to 6 years, plus I have an acting background. So don't expect to have this level of quality and this level of performance in your first video. So it's not going to happen. But if you get good at it, you will reach these levels and even more. So what are the things that you have to take into consideration? Let me organize this thingy. Oh yeah. Okay. So recording content. Recording content has actually 3 stages, right? 3 stages that you have to take into consideration. So the first stage that you always have to take into consideration is actually pre-production. Then you have to take into consideration the production. And you have to take into consideration the storage. Okay? So I studied a little bit of cinema, but I've also been an actor, and I have to handle hundreds of videos every single month. So understanding these 3 stages is super important for you to get into recording content. Yes, you can easily take your cell phone, pick up the camera, start recording, and do all that stuff. However, it's not as efficient as doing the 3-step process, because if you have a good pre-production, you won't spend so much time in production. And if you have a good storage, after you do the production, you'll be able to edit the videos efficiently and in a much better way. So it's super important to take all of these into consideration. So what's going to happen in the pre-production phase? The pre-production phase has a couple of ideas. So give me 1 second. Okay. So going back to this. So what do we have to take into consideration inside pre-production? And we're going to start with this one. So pre-production, you will have to take into consideration the script. You will have to take into consideration the place. You will have to take into consideration your equipment. You will have to take into consideration the time. And you'll have to take into consideration your energy. Okay? So what does all these mean? So when you talk about doing professional level recording or even knowing what the hell are you talking about, it doesn't quite work anymore if you try to do it out of the blue and suddenly when you feel like it. You can do it, many coaches do it, but the problem with doing it like this is that it's never consistent, and the moment that you try to push all of this into one simple day or doing like that, it's not going to work. And it's unsustainable, it's unreliable, and you cannot do it every single week because you don't have everything correct. So the script is coming up with ideas. Is actually, let's take out this for now so I can visually explain it to you. There we go. So let's talk about scripts. And you can dive deeper into any of these subjects, but the concept about that I want to point is what are the things that you have to take in the scripts into account. You have to take into consideration the hook, which is 80% of the work. If you are watching this video, you have to understand the hook. We're going to have a complete video about how to do hooks. You have to take into consideration the value. What is the value? It's okay, the promise, the methods, and the delivery of the value. So for example, if I'm right now promising how to record and edit content, okay, the promise is by the end of this video, you'll understand how to edit videos. The method is I am presenting you through a whiteboard, and the delivery is how deep am I going into the subject matter. So if I was just telling you, okay, just record, just prepare, record, and edit, that is the promise, but the method, it's also the whiteboard, but the delivery wouldn't be working. So if you have a really good combination of all of this, you have higher levels of value. Okay, so all of this is the script, the hook, the value, and also, yeah, I think that will work for now in terms of the script. Then you have the place. So you can record it as, for example, this place right now, which is my room, but it works as a background. You can also record it in a class. You can also record it at a studio. You can also record it in a garden, as long as that you understand what are the requirements and what does a cool place mean. You actually have to have good light, right? If this video was too dark, you wouldn't watch it. You have to have good audio. So I'm using a microphone, and I'm gonna talk about microphones and others part when it comes to the editing part. Right now, it's not as important. And you also need to know, you also have to look presentable and look proud of yourself. So the place, it's also you. How are you feeling and how are you looking? So your customer, okay? So those are like the important pieces. I want to do like a quick example here. I'm going to show you right now. I'm showing you. These are different angles of light. So for example, in this section, you have the light coming at you forward. So as you can see, you have like a lot of energy, and not so much energy, but the light goes into your face in a uniform way. You don't have like hard shadows, which makes the angle look ugly. Then you have this one that I'm currently doing, where I have light coming in one side, but I don't have light coming in this side. I should probably get a light over here so you can have more things. But the important part right now is, for me, making sure that this reads correctly. So having a side light, and then, for example, on this one, you see that it's coming from the back. So that looks super ugly. Make sure that you take into consideration all the light and where are you placing, because if I record facing the window, it's much better than me trying to put the window on my back and trying to have all the light coming in. So different details that we can talk about it later, but I want to like do the big overview right now. Okay. Then when it comes to equipment, you can go as simple as microphone. You can have a tripod and this is my, if I was to record videos by myself or I didn't have the camera, so I can record this. Preferably try to do it with the back of the camera, like this. Okay, so try to do it with the back of the camera. You could do it in the front, but I would say that it's more quality if you do it with the back camera, and depends on how you want to do it. If you don't feel comfortable not seeing yourself, do it with the front. I don't really care, as long as that you get the parts. And this will give you higher quality. Again, then you have to have a microphone. You could spend, I would recommend actually trying to get like a better microphone. This one is a Rode. I'm going to put it on the description. I'm going to put actually two. I like this one, and I also like the one that's Hallmark or Hollyland. Yeah, the Hollyland microphone, which is like a button, which is much more subtle. Right now you cannot see so much, but imagine like having a button, which is really, really. The tripod, again, you can use this one, or you can use the one that I'm using for my camera. And you can have, I've actually realized, oh, I have an extra, which is the script. This is a product. This is a product. This is a product. Something that makes you unique and something that makes you like your brand. Why do I say again the script? I would suggest that if you have the script or if you have the ideas, you have the ideas close by where you are recording your video. Because sometimes when you don't have a script or you don't have an idea or you don't have something in mind, it will take more time for you to like really get the grasp of all of the little details of all of the nuances, especially when we're talking about short form content. In this long ass video, I can actually take my pauses, edit, cut, and because I have a team, they can do it for me. If you're doing it yourself and you want to simplify as much as possible, have your script close by so you can you want to deliver. So all of this is equipment, energy. Let's now say time and energy. Time and energy. So when we're talking about time, you need time to record content. Right now it's 15 minutes so far and they're recording, and I would put myself 30 to 40 minutes for editing this. However, if you're just starting out and if you want to record a video of a minute, I would suggest you give you 15 minutes to record one video and do one video and then another. And if you have like the 3 scripts already, okay, you can have yourself 1 hour. Like, be super mindful about this. If you want to do it correctly, if you don't want to feel anxious, give yourself more time. You can finish earlier, but give yourself enough time to actually record your content. Energy. So I slept today my 6 hours, which I always do. So you need to be high energy. In my acting class, I remember that my teacher told me that simple obeys the complex. High energy leads lower energy. So when I'm presenting, I'm higher energy than you are consuming because you're passive, you're watching, you're hearing my video. And the important part here is that you actually are higher energy than the other person. You don't have to shout. You don't have to have like shouting and doing more like extreme open versions, but you need to have higher energy than the person that's actually listening to you because they will resonate and they are consuming your energy. That's why it's so cool, because you don't have to present 1,000 times. You can create a cool video and you already have it. So that's the best thing. So that is all pre-production. There you go. Okay, now we go to production. So in production, you actually need the equipment that we talked about. You also need to have like everything when it comes to pre-production, it will help you with the production. But how you actually record content. So recording, okay, there are 2 ways of actually recording. Yes, you put the camera and you let it roll. And the first thing that you have to do is actually test audio. So it has happened to me that I have recorded an entire 1 hour podcast with a client of mine, and we didn't have the audio or we didn't have the storage. So you have to record, test, make sure that you're testing the equipment, make sure that you have enough battery, make sure that and before you do this, when you're preparing, make sure that you have all the storage available. Like you have at least, for a video, it's about 1 gigabyte of 1 minute. I have a 550 gigabyte SD right now here. So I know that I can go over. I have 2 slides of battery. If I had 1, that will be a problem. And that will be the thing that you have to really prepare. So prepare storage, prepare the camera, prepare batteries. Make sure that you test the first time. So do a first round, actually see if it's working. If it's working, good, please carry on. If not, pause, do your thing, prepare everything, make sure that you have the best content, because you don't want the video to stop in the middle of what you're recording because you already have the flow. So prepare beforehand, prepare. Okay, when you are testing, again, test the audio, test like 30 seconds, record, pause, check the playback, see if it's doing. When you're testing specifically audio, I would suggest that you go through different places. You keep the camera in one place and you go through different places. If the microphone is actually working, the audio will stay the same whether I'm super close or I am super far away. Okay, and that's why it's good to invest in a good microphone, because it won't distort. So it's recording and testing. Then the 2 styles of testing is, okay, You record and that you continue until you deliver the entire video. You can mess up sometimes while you're recording the video, but it doesn't matter because what's important is that you complete and you tell all the pieces of the value that we were talking about in the script in your video. Many people, what they do is, okay, they're recording the video and they stop because they messed up, and then they record again, and they end up having like 15 videos in their camera roll, and they don't know which one. If you actually have one video that's longer, you can actually chop that one down, take out the silences, take out everything that it's not important in the editing piece, but you will have only one file instead of 10. So that for your editor, for your future team, that's way better than sending them like, hey, here's 15,000 videos, choose the best ones. So I would recommend do one long take and actually do the next, okay? We go to story. So as you see, if you have a good preparation, you will have a good concordance, right? And now in the post-production, this is super, super important. As soon as you record, and that's why you should also have a little more extra time, is actually upload and label. Upload and label. I have a lot of coaches that always tell me, bro, I have like 1,000 videos in my camera that you should use, and it's amazing. And I always have to be asking them, okay, do you have this video? Do you have this video? Do you have this video? So it's a waste of time. What I would suggest is as soon as you record something, you have categories in your Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever type of storage that you want to have. You can have it in the hard drive or you can have it in the cloud. Pay for storage, okay? Category. And the mark of a master, this something that a coach told me about editing and all the masteries. If you have categories and you know where your things are, you will actually look more professional. And your team will also validate that because they know where to access your information. So categories, what I would suggest for categories, I would suggest categorizing things by raw, edit, okay? Raw, edit. I would also, inside of raw, I would put type of video. So for example, this could be type. The type of video means, okay, is it a podcast? Is it a reel? Is it a short video? Is it a medium video? Is it a B-roll? B-roll means supplementary content. So for example, I'm feeling so flashy. I'm not actually telling something, just being there, just being myself. Okay, so that is the type of content. So you put type of content, but you also categorize by date. Okay, so all of these, the raw and the edited, have the type, they have the date, and they all should have the label. Preferably, if you know what the video is about, put the title of the video already here, and you put it in the correct category, raw, and you put the type of video. And there you have it. This is recording content. Medium. Now let's go to the part 2. Screenshot, make sure that this is happening. And if you want also to have someone recording content with you and keep you accountable of this, my mentorship sessions are in the link below, so you can click and apply. We have 4 sessions where we literally go here and we help you edit and create content like this and anything else with social media. For big clients who want everything done themselves, I can also help you with that, but that's a higher package. So we now got record. Okay, now we're gonna do edit code. This is the fun editing. So editing also has 3 important stages. So I will put here editing 1, editing 2, editing. Okay. The first part of editing is something that I would call chopping down. The next stage of editing would be adding. And the last part of editing would be polish. Okay. So you have 3 stages of editing. And if you actually paid attention and you made all of the things in the pre-production and the recording part, you will have everything that you need to create all of this. plus the apps that I'm about to show you. So chopping down, what does chopping down mean? As soon as you have the video, you cut. First, let's talk about what platforms will you use, okay? This is the simplest way for you to do it. I would not recommend that you edit on the platform because, again, you can mess it up, and many of your clients or many of your teams don't have access to your Instagram, so they cannot stay editing on your piece. It becomes something that only you can do and only you can hoard. So it's important that you actually do it on a separate platform for more basically organization and efficiency. Because if you are a coach, you want to know how to do this, but you don't want to stay doing this forever. So what applications will you start using? You will start using CapCut. I think that's the easiest one for you if you are doing solo. For video, this is not a video for video editors. This is a video for coaches. So video editors, do not kill me by this because CapCut is really, really good. I would suggest that you get the pro version at $8 per month because it has all the cool features, okay? I would also recommend that you use Recut. This cuts down all your silences and makes your video much more efficient and much more faster when it comes to the editing part, because silences, all the mistakes like that, this can take away really, really fast. And not specifically the and the on the filler words, but all the silences and the pauses, which will make your video much more efficient and much more faster. I have an official affiliate code below, so if you purchase it, I will get paid, but it's gonna really, really benefit your workflow for. So I would use CapCut, I would use Recut, I would potentially invest in Envato or Artlist or any of the high and stock video footage, because I think that can actually be effective. Or you can also use, because Cam actually has, and I think it's like $40. It's between 10 and 40 per. So you need these ones for stock footage, stock videos, and you can also make really cool covers here. Most of my clients' covers I created here. So those are all the platforms that you actually need. You don't need anything else. You just use this. And this one is optional because, sorry, 1 second, Tomas. In CapCut, you can actually use subtitles. You can play with the subtitles here. So yeah, use that. Like, do not overcomplicate. You could use, and this is something that I sometimes use, is the app captions.ai. I'm putting the logos here. Okay, caption.ai, it's also like 10 per month. Okay, so 10 per month, you can actually create all of this, and Captions put the subtitles automatically. But again, you can use it here as well. This is optional, this is extra, this is bougie, but you can use it. So, with all the applications, what do you actually do in the chopping down? Let's go to the stages. What is chopping down? Take out silences, filler words, repetitive. So sometimes you say the same thing 2 times in the video, you don't notice, but people do notice. This is important to increase the value per second of what you're currently doing. So take out silences, take out filler words, repetitive ideas. That's why it's important to add just one file in order for you to just do this from one video and not try to match 100 videos together, okay? So you do all of that. After this part, you then start adding stuff. So what do you mean by adding stuff? You can add stuff like pictures or B-roll. So you can actually take pictures of yourself, emphasizing the emotions that you're talking about, emphasizing the ideas, the concepts, what you're currently doing when it comes to, for example, I'm talking about when I was 16 years old, I felt like that was inadequate. And when you say the 16 years old, you can put a picture of yourself when you were 16. Okay. And B-roll is, you can put something from Canva, or you can use yourself, like, okay, like you holding the face, or you like thinking about something. So that's the B-roll content that you can do to amplify the experience and create a little bit more the dopamine effect that people want when it's TikTok, when it's fast, because people want fast content. you can add here the colors and filters. So in CapCut, you have filters that you can add on top of your video in your timelines. So I can put a quick example here of what you're doing, but it's super cool to have your own style, your whole branding, and many of your videos could have like the same colors and filters, so it has a consistent brand identity and people will start recognizing by you. But it's not as important, but it's cool. If you like cool stuff, you can use it. Then you can add here subtitle. You can add subtitles automatic, and you can then go to the polish section, which is like making sure that everything is correct. And finally, pictures, colors, filters, and you could put effects and transition. So in CapCut again, you can add effects to your body. You can add effects to the elements around what's happening. Look, this is an effect. Okay. So you can add that, and you can have transition. So after every cut, you can do a transition. So I can be here, and suddenly I'm going to do a fade out, and now I'm here. So that's the cool part of what you can do. And all of that you can do inside of CapCut. I would suggest that you download it or watch a couple of tutorials. Spend an hour to 2 hours actually learning how to do this, so you can do this much faster. Because the first time in the editing part, this editing part in terms of time will probably take you, for a video of 1 minute, it will take you 1 hour to 2 hours. Just that's the reality. I can edit videos by myself with all this stuff in about 20 to 30 minutes because I've edited around 1,000 videos by now. Or more, I don't know, but it's been too many videos and I love it. Okay, but if you do it the first time and you do all these steps, it will probably take you 1 hour to 2 hours. That's just the reality, and that's the way it is. So then you can hire me to edit your videos for you. Then you have to polish. So what does it mean polish? You make sure that you can put music. I will put music at the end because you have all the parts. You can make sure subtitle. You make sure that the grammar is correct. You make sure that you like the image. So after that, you will basically export it. The formats in which you should export this, there are many types of or ways to optimize it, but I would just make it simple for you to just try to download it in 4K. Make sure that it's a vertical ratio. So vertical ratio means it's like this and not like this, because Instagram it works like this and not like this. Important details about the editing part, and this is something that I would like you to understand, and I'm gonna put like a template or a picture built here, as you can see, where you should not put the subtitles, where you should not put the viewer. So basically you have to be on top in the above part of the video. The subtitles should be mostly in the middle, and you should not put anything below this line because that's where the branding of the social media handles are working. So that's the way that you should edit videos. Do not go overboard when it comes to the subtitles, so you make sure that it's not all over the place. And yeah, that's basically it. That's how you record and edit content. So as you can see, it's a 6-step process. 3 for recording, 3 for editing, and then you just have to publish it. Okay? Do not delay. Execute, and the more that you do this, the more you do the recording, the faster and more better you will. That's it for this one. If you like more videos like this, make sure that you subscribe. If you're a coach that wants to grow your business together, just make sure that you book a discovery call or a mentorship call. If you want any of the things that I talked about here, you can put a comment or a question below. Share, enjoy, make sure that you're awesome, and keep growing, keep showing and keep sharing your message to the world. I'm super excited. I'm super pumped because this is the next level of your business.